Hey, welcome. Thanks for coming by. I'm here. I'm Marina Orms, and I have a guest with me, Char Heitman. Welcome, Char.
Hi, Marina. Nice to see
I'm,
you
I'm,
today.
yeah, I'm super excited because we are doing Women Badasses of the Zodiac, and Char is a Libra, and she is, yeah, she's so we're going to be talking about what it means to be a badass when you're a Libra, right? Not the first thing people think of usually when they think of badasses, but every sign has its badass side. So we're going to be looking at that. And Char is an international educator. She teaches English as a second language, and she's also a badass practitioner of Taekwondo.
Almost a black belt.
Almost a black belt. She trains with my daughter, which is how I know her. So awesome. Thanks for being here, Char.
Thanks for having me, Marina.
Yay. So what makes you a badass?
Mm. Yeah, I think that what makes me a badass is that I have a personality that's very sensitive and compassionate, kind of open and intuitive and empathetic. So that's a great quality. Those are great qualities to have. And on the other hand, it can overwhelm me because I see a lot of the pain in the world, or I see things happening that hurt my heart. And it can be hard to modulate all of the input that I get and still show up and be present and um, be of the kind of sound mind and body of being calm enough that I can respond to it without reacting to it. So I feel like over the years, my spiritual practice and my internal work has been around being able to modulate the input I get and to be able to respond and not react and get into reactive mode. Because when we respond rather than react, we're going to have a more healthy, whole, more helpful reaction rather than a just reactive mode. If it's all knee jerk, then what we bring to the table is overwhelm or stress. And so the way to process that stress internally and somehow transform it so that I have something to offer to the world. So what I feel is I've been working on how to hone that inner strength to be more responsive than reactive, and use those positive qualities, and so that those positive qualities really can be a gift rather than overwhelmed, so that's not going to get us anywhere. Just overwhelm won't get us anywhere. And passion can be great, but again, if it's too reactive, it can be over the top for people and it's hard for them to respond and process. So I hope that makes sense. Does it?
Yeah, it does, totally. So, and as a Libra, you're attuned to balancing perspective, seeing it from other sides. So that's how I'm connecting what you're saying, is that you're in tune with all the different perspectives, and that can be overwhelming.
Exactly. Yeah. The negative, the darker side of the coin is it can be overwhelming. And then the positive side is I can hear lots of perspectives and really hold that there's a lot of value in all the different elements coming to the table, all the different whatever personalities, different issues that come to the table. It's like, okay, I can see why someone might react this way or be in that place, and I could see the perspective. So yeah, that is a strength and a badass quality.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So just narrow-minded, dogmatic, there's one right thing or one right way. That can be great too. It's wonderful for people to see what they want, know it, go for it, and get it, and hold, to know their intention and hold it firmly. That's wonderful. So I'd say there's another sort of, I don't know if I want to say weak, but downside of Libra is sometimes not being so clear on my intention, or being clear, but then getting a little pulled off track because I'm trying to balance everyone. Sometimes I need to go more for this is what I'm doing.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's a process I've been working on. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And so one of the badass qualities that of Libra is that you have that ability to hold different perspectives and hold space for that. So that what you're saying is when you are centered within yourself, so that you're not getting thrown or into reactive mode,
Mhm.
that you can hold that container for um, a group to be able to see different perspectives, or another person to be able to see different perspectives.
Very true. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, super cool. So how does do you notice your Libra qualities coming into your martial arts practice?
Let me think about that. Yeah, I definitely I feel like I know that I want and need to balance all the different elements of martial arts. Again, like the strength and power and the very, sort of hard hitting, boom, like that kind of energy, but then also the balance and the flexibility and the core strength. And also like in sparring, for example, yeah, sometimes you need to throw a punch or a kick, but you also have to wait. You have to kind of balance those energies. You have to go, oh, what's coming at me? Do I want to block it, or do I want to counter strike, or do I want to hop out of the way? So yeah, trying to balance all the different elements of martial arts to get strength, flexibility, focus, um, and flow. So yeah, just trying to get all of those balance. Sometimes we're doing what's called a pumse, a form. It has all these moves, and you might have certain elements of it down well, like you have the flow, you have the sequence just fine, but you need to bring more power to it, or you bring power, but the flow is kind of off, or the something, the flow from, yeah, the flow or something is off. So you just have to balance that everything's there and make sure you're not bringing too much of one thing so that it compromises another element. So,
Very cool. So yeah, the balance part of it. So that's like a power that you bring to your practice, is
yeah,
that
true.
capacity to see the different aspects and balance. Yeah, it is. Everything is about balance,
Yeah,
right?
balancing the energies. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Put too
super.
much of one thing, it's,
Yeah, yep,
so.
yeah, totally. So we talked. You did talk a little bit about what you've had to overcome um, to step into that badass side. Is there anything you would add to that?
Let me think. Um, I think, um, yeah, some like a little core piece of advice I might give people that are potentially struggling with or trying to have that also as their work is kind of the work with flipping the script. And so, what could go wrong? Well, what could go right? What if I fall? What if I fly? So, trying to notice where you have a script that is maybe not serving you or not helping you, and then flip it. And there again, if something is out of balance, you have too much of one thing, bring the other element in there, and sort of balance it out. So
Oh,
don't
I love
try
that.
to notice when you're going too far in one direction, and bring in a different energy or different thought pattern to counteract the too much of the one thing. So bring,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I love how you're talking about thought patterns too. And because as an air sign, there is that like tendency to rely a lot on what your thoughts or ideas are telling you, what your head is telling you.
Yeah.
So to become aware of that and recognize where it is out of balance and what you can do to counteract that, to bring it back.
Yeah, that's a great point. And that is true. I definitely feel the air sign quality. And again, it makes me, I feel the positive side of that, light on my feet, woo, 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 lots of energy, but coming down to earth sometimes is very necessary to get me more grounded. And then again, that I can respond rather than react. So That's good. So,
Yeah.
do you have another question for me or?
No, what were you going to say?
Well, I have a question for you, which is, what do you say about people, Libras or other people at this balancing thing, that when you do need to go for one thing and really need to stay single-minded,
Mhm.
what would you say about that? Is it that we're leaving our balance behind, or what are we doing? Do you
Yeah.
understand what I mean? I would love a
So,
core piece of advice from you. Like, how can I keep my single-minded focus and not worry about balancing everything? How do I bring that, and kind of turn off the
that's
trying
a
to balance and take it all in?
it's a great question. And because Libra is about balance, there's a tendency with Libra to compromise. And
Yes.
so self-compromise is what we do. If I'm not a Libra, but
Yeah.
it's what Libras do.
Yeah.
Um,
People in general.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have Libra in me, but to bring harmony, which you want people to be happy. You want to maintain the peace. You don't want to make waves. So there's a tendency to compromise that, I'm not going to push too hard. I'm not going to be too this. I'm not going to be too that. And so you compromise yourself. But when you think about what really is best for the harmony of the whole, is
Mhm.
that it? So I talk about bringing yourself to the table and
Mhm.
bringing balance through saying what you need to say, doing what you need to do, even if it makes waves. That may be the greater harmony that's needed, is through you taking that action and that focus and moving in whatever direction.
Nice. I really like that, because I would say that is right now, that is my number one struggle is,
Mm,
being able to advocate for myself unapologetically, just knowing what I need, saying it, and then if I perceive that I'm making waves, trying to stay solid there and not let those waves move what I know is right for me. But then what I hear you saying is that keep in mind that sometimes advocating for yourself and advocating strongly and bringing something, it is going to be better for the whole picture. And I may not see it at that moment, but trust that bringing what I need is also part of the balancing act. And I don't
exactly.
have to balance everyone in the group. I can
Yeah,
balance through being firm in my own resolve or something. Is that what you're saying?
that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
So that's still a work in process and I'm working on it, but I'm very interested in working on it, because something that I'll say, what I notice when I don't do that
Mhm.
is then I have resentments, or I feel like it does cause me to be out of balance. Then I'm not bringing my best self to the whole. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm
Exactly.
feeling resentful, or because I didn't get a need met, so I compromise too much, ultimately it isn't going to be good for the whole, because I'm going to bring a disappointed or frustrated or resentful energy back in because I compromised too much.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It's a good reminder. Trust me, I'm reminding myself, because I
Awesome.
need to, yep, I need to keep,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
it's a work
very
in
cool.
progress.
And so yeah, as you're working towards your black belt, this
Yeah.
is, you're stepping into a higher version of yourself, and this work continues for all of us. There's always more to deepen into and to awaken in ourselves. So congratulations, and thanks for doing your badass work.
Yeah. Well, thank you for supporting people to do that.
Yeah,
So
you
thank you.
bet. Well, thank you. I think we're out of time, but thanks for chatting with us, Char. It was really valuable. Yeah,
Thank you. Likewise. Thank
thank
you very
you.
much.